elsewhere with others. Many years ago, Benazia Thagomizer, you have served the Bright Dawn as an example of good judgment and power for your entire life. Some of your crews claim that any ship you set foot on will shatter any shoal it runs against rather than be broken against it. You are the rock that many anchor themselves against, and you have led us to triumph. A voice says over the kneeling Jorga, "Thank you, honored elder." And so today we honor you with some of our greatest secrets. Secrets known only to the elders of the Bright Dawn. Secrets of power that keep us apart and just as strong as any empire or kingdom upon this world. We are few, but we are mighty. Years since. Child, years have passed since you have come into my crew. My faith has been earned, and I have chosen you to share the secrets of the elders, Mortia says to one of her captains. She has been entrusted to swear in new elders, perhaps not the highest office, but the baser secrets are hers to share. Perhaps in time she will be entrusted with more. Since then, why do we not use them? We have the knowledge and weapons to take either continent in a fortnight. We have the Great Mother to lead us. We can remake this world. Enough. Thagomizer, you are a warrior, not a thinker. This world is on a delicate balance. We have only a single point of power, a single grand treasure. Our vault and its treasure with the Great Mother to guide us. But the Great Mother has taught us strategy and granted us the tools we need to take entire kingdoms. Why do we not? Enough! You may have been entrusted with some of our secrets, but it is clear you are not worthy of them all. Begone from this chamber, Thagomizer. You are no longer one of us. Not long ago. The elders are fools, Mortia mutters to herself as she drinks deeply. Her life has changed in the years since. She is still a Thagomizer, but she is one of her own innumerable granddaughters. Her own abilities as Jorgwa and the secrets she still held from her time as an elder served to remake her entirely. The elders are not fooled, she knows this, but they do not care. Her head is down, so they do not bother to look. Another way in which they are foolish. How strange that some people so skilled at piercing deceptions are so equally terrible at seeing their own advantage. How strange that she had such a hard time seeing it when she was one of them. Fool's eye, a new voice says to her side. You've fallen far, lady. Her arm snaps out and brutally strong muscles start cording. The crushing force is enough to cause bones to audibly creak, to say nothing of the brutal bruising of skin as she draws the idiot closer. A Foza. She's certainly out of place here. Your life hangs by a thread. You'll find my bones and flesh rather resilient to your trick, screamer. Choose your words wisely. She whispers to the woman vaguely, smelling of distant scents. This girl's from one of the empires. Her clothes have been changed, but the smell hasn't been washed away by the ocean brine just yet. The foreign stranger staggers back, but quickly regains her footing and brushes off her robe. The pale gray fur and glowing green highlights are extremely exotic in Bright Dawn. This woman has the subtlety of those new-fangled cannons that Miru is so proud of. Very well, you and I share many enemies. I don't have the forces here to deal with them, but you do. I can give you information and weapons to better equip you against them. Fair? She asks, and it's all Mortia can do to no laugh openly in her face. They won't compare to what's in the Elder's vault, you idiot. Unless you have some kind of lance of great light that... She trails off to see the Foza heft a silken bag with ornate designs and slide it down partway to show the unmistakable handle of one of the sacred weapons. How? We have our own secrets, Elder. Though they will not be shared, the succulent fruits they provide can be, the Foza says, and Morticia's mind churns. A simple rebellion will not be enough. She will need her own access restored to gain control of the vault. For that, she needs deception. She needs cunning. She needs them to trust her again, if only for a minute. She needs chaos, a scion of many worlds. She brings down her weapons with a scream. her form starting to contort and shift even as she swings. He tries to dodge, but her reach is suddenly different between one microsecond and the next, and he can't adjust in time. The plow sends him crashing back with his breastplate torn open like tissue paper. Wretched abomination! I will not allow a mutant Orthani, eager to put the chains of the treacherous midwives upon us, to win. Thag shouts out as she stands as tall as a telephone pole. Cute. You're trying to cast me as the villain. That's adorable. Jasper replies with a touch of axiom to carry it further than her shout. You are the monster, Thag shouts. I've been called to rescue kidnapped women who've dedicated their lives to creating life. My oddities aside, there are few causes more pure. Jasper keeps his answer calm. With nothing but chaos around, people will flock to the calm in the storm. Death to the outsider, she screams as she gathers energy in her mouth. Justice for all, he shouts back as he reshapes his ruined breastplate with a pulse of axiom and charges straight at her. He knows exactly what she's doing. He's felt this before. He felt this done better. Zavaya did it better. The darkness of the early night becomes the brightness of day as a beam of pure power erupts from Thag's mouth. The axiom he surrounds himself with deflects it easily. There's nowhere near the mechanical precision of the laser cannons in this attack. He slices and cuts into her tongue, and she whiplashes back with a roar of pain. He jolts to the side as her flailing nearly swats him out of the air. She turns. Her size has given her a lot of strength and leverage at the sacrifice of mobility. Wetched Fing! My ton! My ton! Thag roars, her sudden speech impediment a result of his attack. You're the fool that started roaring in the middle of a fight. Are all your plans so well thought out? Jasper asks, as he lands on a nearby building. She brings her claw down and demolishes it, but he blasts off again. She's sent staggering from an axiom-powered kick to the side. Return to a smaller size. You're too clumsy for a proper fight like this. Fug you, wetched moth monster. She roars as she staggers back. You're the imbecile that had their tongue out in the open and flapping around. Now, return to a smaller size. You're merely embarrassing yourself. He tells her, and she moves. He hits the ground to try and dodge the swipe, and her foot is already coming for him. It appears the woman is as contrarian as someone can get as she's growing larger, even as she fights him. Disgusting little Orthani mutant. I will see you reduced to paste before this night is over. See me, shall you? Jasper asks, as the now 40-foot-tall woman just brings down a fist laced with axiom. He outright teleports away from this one as the fur on the back of his neck sticks straight up. The street he was standing in outright detonates. There's a moment of stillness as she tries to find him in the corpse she's sure about. She looks up and sees him looking down at her. You wretch! You smash our city, and for what? You manipulations are as pathetic as they are transparent. Put on your big girl pants and put some actual effort in. Jasper's response is carried just as far on the axiom, and she roars in frustration. Whatever her goals are, he's being an enormous frustration. She twists into a larger size to have a better reach on him, and he swoops in mid-morph. As her body bulges and shifts, he slams down onto her shoulder and stabs. The scales make his sword skip, but they skip up and along the ridge. He gets her right eye. Her scream of rage is enormous, and her hand comes up. He tries to teleport away, but there's something that's disrupting his ability. It feels like the world's been dropped on him, and everything goes black for a moment. He's in a white and chrome room with soft black floors. He's studying the anatomy of reptilian-based sentient life. The room is bare, so it provides no distraction from his studies, but the floor is soft, so he doesn't even bother with chairs. His senses return, and he finds himself buried in rubble. The sounds of the riot and a loud roar from that bitch Thag let him know that he was out for maybe 10 seconds. With a bit of axiom to help, he shoulders aside the ruins of the building that he had apparently been slapped into, and the roar of triumph cuts short. Bit early to celebrate, big girl. I'm not done yet, Jasper snarls. Don't you Eva fucking die. She snarls, and his response is to hurl one of the load-bearing pillars of the building right at her face. She flinches away and the wood shatters against her scales. The second is all he needs. He's on her already and slamming into her stomach. His swords are gone, but he still has his claws. The axiom flows more easily through them as he plunges his left arm into her stomach and she screams. He has to abandon the attack as her claws come for him, but she's catching wise to fighting someone considerably smaller now and grabs him out of the air. Her hands are around his torso and she brings down her maw to bite off his head. Thankfully, his arms are free and he can hold her jaws back, but the woman has the strength and leverage advantage. In a game of pure power, she wins, so he changes the game. His claws sink into the flesh around her jaws. She ignores it and keeps pressing. She cannot, however, ignore the electrical current that suddenly springs from his claws and directly into her blood and nerves. Her grip crumples his breastplate as her entire body twitches and jerks as he starts screwing with the electrical currents to eat through her nervous system, and her entire body jerks around. There's a massive sudden jolt and she seizes up, cutting off his air supply, and he teleports out of her grip. He takes a few shallow breaths before focusing a bit of axiom and allowing his breastplate to reinflate. Dealing with it was a pain, but his armor just saved his life twice. He doesn't even turn to look as the gigantic corpse of Thag hits the ground, smoking ever so slightly. How did he know how many amps he needed to kill her? He used just enough. Later, he'll sort the vision and the knowledge later. Now there are lives on the line. People of Bright Dawn, return to your homes. I am here merely to aid the Grand Midwives. The women each and every one of you owes not only your life to, but your mother's life and your daughter's as well. They are friend to all but are being attacked by those who would seek war rather than discourse. Return home and bar the doors. All you will achieve by rioting is destroying your own cities and burning down your own history. Who the Tides are you? I am Jasper Emmanuel Skitterway Blue. I am the conqueror of Miru, drought ender of the Goldlands and savior of Greenstone. I am the martial master of the Star Seekers and ally to both the Grand Midwives and the Mountain Clans. I am a titan of the Undaunted and son of the Spider. Who are you to question me? He announces, and there's a lull in the rioting. Return to your homes. Defend your loved ones and your treasures. Chaos this night will only lead to destruction and pain. He orders, and a fair amount of the rioters start to drift away. This leads to the others starting to try and sidle off, thankfully revealing where his fallen swords are embedded partially into the surroundings. Riots partially quelled, and this approach to the temple no longer under siege. He's nearly been killed twice, maybe 3 times, and the night has barely begun. He cannot keep the eager smile off his face as he retrieves his swords and heads to the temple,